Welcome everyone to another thrilling episode of Inquiring Minds. I'm Hialeah Comic Bro, and as always, I'm accompanied by.
Yo, what's going on, Hialeah? Thank you for having me, man. I know a great way or a great adjective to describe today's show. A wondrous.
Wondrous. I like that.
A wondrous episode today.
I am super excited for. I'm always excited, man. What am I gonna say? I'm gonna just shout out the chat real quick before we get started. We got comic. It's Lasso time. Lasso time. What's up? What's up, Tapia?
Yo, Tapia, comic.
Jaguar. What's up? ¿Qué pasó? Stay Puff. Awesome, man. Perry Comics. What's up, Perry? Thank you guys for coming in. And we have a first ever appearance. And I'm looking at him backstage, and I'm actually I'm glad I have this queued up. So I'm gonna start this, and we're gonna bring him right in. I know everyone's anxiously awaiting, but let's get this going.
Yeah.
What's up?
What is up? What's going on?
Wait a minute. This isn't the Masked Singer?
Oh my God. Man, I just happened to have that queued up, and awesome. I saw you backstage, and it was like, oh my God, it's perfect.
Have you ever had a guest on the show that you didn't see before the show started?
Only one, and that was it was Unruly before he did his big reveal, but he did it behind the stage. You know, he never showed himself with us. So
all right,
this is special, man. This is special.
Well, this is hot as heck. So why don't we get a little Masked Singer action going on, and can we get some Take It Off?
Take it off. 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 Hey!
What's up?
What's up, man?
That wasn't so bad, was it?
No, it wasn't bad at all. First of all, apologies to everyone who's disappointed that I don't look like Chris Evans. Imagine how I feel. So,
what's going on, man?
I'm doing great. How are you guys doing? Thanks for having me on tonight. I'm very excited about this. Very first time the face has been revealed to the YouTube comic book community.
Awesome, man. Thank you. You're gonna.
How does it feel? How does it feel?
It feels good. All of the I don't want to say nerves, but more excitement is kind of gone, and you just kind of chill into it now. I've been on YouTube a little over a year, and my decision not to show my face wasn't anything more than I didn't have a really nice webcam or a nice microphone until about 2 weeks ago.
Wow.
So the factor that played into it, I don't exactly have the best location for my filming, let alone to do something with a face too. It's tough enough just getting the book shown, and I like the books being the star of my channel.
Right.
Yeah, Hialeah, I don't know how he does it, but he's got this insane backdrop.
I position my head right there.
I love watching Hialeah, especially when he's front lit, because it's always when Hialeah's front lit, it's like, ooh, gather close, he's going to tell you something, something you've got to know.
And there's nothing I know that you don't know.
But I have been a huge fan of the work that both of you have done.
Thank you.
And,
Thank you, man.
I show up and I watch a lot of your shows from Silver Age Sunday to Start Me Up. And this show, I've been watching this show for quite some time. And I'm very honored that I could participate and be a guest tonight.
Well, we reached out a while back, right? It's been a while, maybe 6-7 months that we reached out, and we really wanted you on here. So you weren't set up for it, I can imagine.
Yeah. Plus, you got to create that demand.
Yeah.
So,
well, obviously you did, because there was people waiting. Take it off. I don't know how many times I thought.
We have a lot of take it offs. All right.
And we thought it was going to be your second appearance, correct?
That's what I thought. I do want to give a shout out to the boy who had 7. I was going to do my very first face reveal with him last week. Mm-hmm. And then at the last moment, his plans for live stream got canceled. But between the time of agreeing to do that, I agreed to do this show.
Okay.
But I did reach back out to Matt, and with his blessing and his permission, I am here today too, because I didn't want to definitely step on any feet. So, but when he goes on again next week, I'll pop in and say hi to everyone. So.
And I saw that he put on his Instagram that'll be your second appearance.
Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome. That's when I knew who you were gonna go live with first. That's when I knew.
Yeah. He was the very first person who asked, and some other folks had wanted to collaborate, like you guys as well. And as I said, I just didn't have the setup. I didn't have the equipment, but things are changing, and 2021 is going to be, hopefully, fingers crossed, a great year. So Thomas is here. Thomas is. First of all, for those, I don't see the comments here until you guys pop them up on the screen. But I'm excited to see so many people are here. Wow, I'm very flattered. But Thomas became my very first friend in the YouTube, Instagram comic book community.
Wow.
Nice.
And he's probably my best friend. For a guy that doesn't really collect DC, he certainly looks at a lot of DC covers over and over and over for me. So what do you think about this one? What do you think about the grade on this one? What do you think about this one? So, but I appreciate him, and I appreciate Cookie and Kenny and everybody else that stopped in here tonight. I even heard that Perry was here. So
yeah, Perry is here. We got Rodrigo.
Wow.
The comic collectors also.
Oh yeah.
Stay Puff.
Stay Puff.
Wow. Some great people, and some folks that I've really enjoyed their content and getting to know in this last year.
Perry wanted you to take it off as well. He was one of those.
Well,
and, man, Comics for Thomas is actually. I hope to have him on here sometime in the future. He's in Canada.
Yeah.
Great collection. I like his setup. What is it? He has the cats, right?
Yeah, he's got cats.
He's got cats. Exactly. And I've watched his shows very. I like his channel. I'm enjoying it. So hopefully we'll have him here at one point. We got Flashpoint also.
Oh, Flashpoint, another great friend of mine too. So I am real.
Magic Lasso is real.
Bro, this is great, man. Everybody I think is freaking out. It's a reveal.
It is.
Crazy cats. Crazy cats.
Kenny said to pull up his comment, like the first comment that he put.
I saw the first comment that he left.
Here.
I saw that, and I rhyme each week when Kenny does the Mega Power Hour.
Yes, you do.
And I always start out that he's neater than Magneto, and I'll give away. This was the one I was saving for next, but. I can come up with another one. So 84 time. He's neater than Magneto. Like the Wasp, he has a lot of clothes to wear. Likes to promote keeping kids off drugs by wearing the shirt that says Dare.
Dare. That's great, bro. I always see your comments there, and you're always doing the 84 times.
Yeah.
You're doing all that.
I try to have a little something special for each person when I try to go into a stream. That's kind of my trademark with them. So
nice. So you've been on YouTube for
just a little over a year now, about 13 months now. So
of course I always go and I look at someone's, man, your AOK unboxings are some of the best.
Every time every time that someone says that they have something that they want to send me, literally my mouth drops. I'm just like, why? Yeah. I mean, appreciatively, I'm thinking, why me? What have I done? And it blows my mind each time. And it doesn't matter what they send. It's just the fact that someone thought of me. That is the feeling right there. It doesn't matter if, and this hasn't happened very often, just a couple times, maybe a book that I already have, but that's fine, because I've also thought too, if I'm getting a second copy of this book, there's a reason for it. And I think the reason is I'm an autograph collector as well. Maybe that means I have to get that book signed. And if it's a duplicate book that I already have, I'm making that my mission that I have to get that book signed sometime.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, the community is great, man. You never expect AOKs to come your way, but when they do, like you said, your jaw drops and you're like, oh man, that's like I'm so appreciative. I'm so grateful for you guys to be thinking of me. I was actually hanging out, hunting with Cookie, just a little podcast, when he was looking for books for you. So I had a little bit of a part in that.
I love that. Well, then I won a contest from you, and then Hialeah enclosed an extra book for me too. So and that blew my mind, and just so thankful and appreciative of everyone that's embraced me. I really feel a part of this community. I feel welcomed when I show up in a chat. I feel that people are excited that I'm there.
Oh yeah.
And the one thing that I've learned in my life is someone told this to me, and it is the truth. If anyone out there remembers one thing that I said tonight, I hope it's this. People will forget what you said. They will forget what you did, but they always remember how you made them feel. So, and this community makes me feel incredible. So
how did you get into it though? Were you always in the chats? What's your origin?
My origin goes back to, I've been a comic book collector probably since I was 5 years old.
Okay. Nice.
And I'm in my 40s now. So it's been a while. There was a little bit of a period where I didn't buy anything. And I was watching, one day it never occurred to me to look on YouTube for comic book stuff. And I saw some mystery boxes that people were selling, and I thought, I wonder if there's anybody on YouTube that is opening up a comic book mystery box. Well, it blew my mind once I saw how many videos there are. And then I just started looking at videos here and there, and I never really paid attention to who created them. And then when I started realizing who created them, I'm like, I think I want to do this. I have a 30-year background in country radio. So
country radio.
Yeah. I'm probably one of the few people that you've ever met that's had one job their entire life. Now, country radio and radio just actually in general has, you have? Really?
I'm actually starting my second job next week.
Really? That's awesome.
Wow.
Congratulations.
I worked, my first job I ever applied for, I stayed there for 32 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of people like us around there. I am looking for my next opportunity right now too. Radio just in general isn't in a great state. And there's so many cutbacks and layoffs and stuff too. But I am so proud of making it for 3 decades at the same place, the same station, for the awards that I've won, for the artists that I've met, for the dreams that I saw come true. My first dream, and I'm sorry, I'm drifting a little bit from your original question, but
good.
My first dream that I had when I got into radio was I want a gold album with my name on it. That's not presented to the station, but that is presented to me. And I started in radio at the age of 16, and I was music director at 19. I was told that, I don't know if this is still accurate or not, I was told that I was the youngest music director in country radio in history.
Wow.
At 19. Wow. So our station was very fortunate. We're in a small market, so we're not in a big metropolitan area, but we were very fortunate that what is called a reporting station. And not every radio station is a reporting station. And what that means is the songs that we play and how often we play them influence what's going to be number 1 on the charts that week, or number 2, or number 3, or number 4.
Wow.
So there comes responsibility with that for the music director, which I became music director at 19, and did 25 years as music director. And like I said, the first goal I had was to get a gold album, and I got one about a year after becoming music director.
Oh wow!
And I remember saying to the record rep for Capitol Records, saying, that was sent to my name, not to the station. And they said, yes, I made sure that was done because I know you sold us a ton of albums. And we are so appreciative of you being excited about our artist. And so he said, I specifically made it so it would be your name. And I would go on to get some more. That was my very first goal. And then you start setting goals like, I like to be friends with an artist to the point maybe that I have their cell phone number and we text. And that happened. And I've had artist friends that have been so kind to put me on the tour bus before a show. And they said, I want you to have the full experience. walk with us from the bus to the stage.
Oh my goodness.
And there is nothing like that feeling, because you hear the crowd out there screaming. They know the show is about to start. The energy is unlike anything that I've ever felt in my life. First of all, it's cool as heck that you were just sitting in the tour bus, just chilling and hanging out, But that walk from the bus to the stage, and I've been fortunate to do it a few times, is amazing. I've had a couple artists include me in their prayer circle before the show, which I thought was a huge honor.
Of course. You're like in their inner circle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's little goals like that. It was an amazing experience, and I'm so thankful for having that. And I don't want to forget to mention this, and I'm saying this especially for Javi.
Yeah.
Not once, but twice I have met Olivia Newton-John.
Oh no! Are you serious?
Twice.
Dude, get out of town, man.
So that's awesome, man.
My Olivia Newton-John experience, the first time that I met her was 4 days after 9/11. And people still didn't know if they were going to do concerts or if they should be doing concerts, or, we were just, America was just in this state of, I don't know what to do.
We were in shock. We
were
in shock.
Well, she decided to keep her concert, and I had for being in radio, meet and greet with Olivia. And there was only, a handful of us that she was going to say hi to. And the biggest memory I had was they had us gathered in a room, and right before she came in, this waft of perfume came through the room very lightly. It was not overpowering, but very lightly it came through the room. And then she came in, and when it was my turn to talk to her, that was her perfume. Wow. And after she left, it lingered, but it was not overpowering in any sense. So I thought, okay, that's never happened with anyone that I've met. Okay. Now, the second time when I met her, I thought, is this going to happen again? And the exact same thing happened. So she was very nice and very friendly, though. And we had a great conversation.
And she's not American.
No, she's Australian.
Australian.
Yeah.
Wow. This is great. Okay. I want to go back to where you started. You started 16 at the record station as what? How did you get the job? How did that happen? What were you doing?
Started, one thing that I'm not so crazy about myself is when I get into something, I am in it 100%, but then I don't want to focus on anything else. Yeah. For example, I kind of stopped collecting comic books and focused on music. There's some people that are in radio because they just love radio and the idea of being on every different type of radio station or traveling and working in this market and that. And then there's other people like me who just love music and just want to be in radio because I didn't have the talent to be a singer. If I had the talent, I would have gone after it because I feel like I'm not a singer, I'm an entertainer. Mm-hmm. I can entertain. Mm-hmm. I can't sing, to save your hide, but I can entertain. And there is a difference. Mm-hmm. I got really into radio, and I got to know some people at this station, and they said, you should get a part-time job here. And I thought, I could do that for a year or two or whatever, Yeah. So at 16, I applied with no experience, and they hired me. Wow. And I worked like a dog, or as I like to say, I worked like a gas station dog for them. Whenever they need me to do whatever they wanted, I did. And before they were chomping at the bits for me to graduate high school to hire me full time. They were so ready. And then that was a compliment in itself. And I knew after that I wanted to be music director because of my passion for the music. And when the person who was music director moved, he and his family moved to another state, mm-hmm. that became open. And I never wanted to be program director. Now, a program director is kind of in charge of the entire station.
Right.
And a lot of times the program director is also the music director. But in our case, it was split. And I became music director, and I was happy with that. I didn't want to be the program director.
Okay. Did you go to school for music as well? Or
no.
Was it
Never went to school for music, never went to school for radio. Mm-hmm. Literally stumbled upon it. And as cool as radio and the music industry is, and it is, and there are some people that are creative beyond anything that you can imagine. I do have to say that some of the coolest people, at least in the music business, aren't necessarily even the artists. It's the people that are managing them, or their publicist, or their promoter, or those people are so amazing and funny and in their own right talented at what they do. And knowing those people has been a blast.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah. I've been very fortunate.
You were 19, correct?
19 as music, 16 to start in radio, 19 as music director.
You had to have stepped on some toes. There had to be some people that weren't happy with a 19-year-old in that position. How did you handle that?
There definitely were people that in Nashville that were very worried that I wouldn't know what I was doing, that I didn't care about what I was doing because I didn't care about the format. I just cared. They thought I was the person who just wanted to be in radio and say, oh, I'm a music director now. You know, I don't care about what happens with country music. I love country music and its history, and I respect it. And I knew its history before I even started in radio.
Yeah.
And so I quickly proved myself in that aspect. But a different aspect I had, not so much looking at the webcam right now, but this used to be a very young face. And at 19, to have this power that I had, there were some people that didn't believe that I was even old enough to have a job or...
Exactly.
Yeah. And there were some early experiences where that hurt my feelings. But you know what? You mature, you grow up with it, you learn to move on it. And that's a fantastic question, and something I don't think I've ever been asked. You just kind of move on from it, you know, after a while.
You grow, you mature fast.
Yeah, you do.
You do.
Yeah. I'm an only child as well, so I don't have, and really wasn't around a lot of people my age except for at school. And I grew up in a town that's like 1,000 people. There's no fast food and there's no stoplight.
That's crazy.
What?
Yeah, there's no golden arches here.
Wow.
You know, there's a train track and a grocery store and a laundromat, and that's about it. So
was it like American? You remember the old movie American Graffiti? It sounds like it was even less than that.
Yeah, I'd say it was. So I didn't see Cindy Williams, you know, riding around in a convertible here in our town. So.
The Thunderbird, right? Was it the white?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Richard, you weren't Richard Dreyfuss. You were more Wolfman Jack, though.
I guess, you know, looking back at it, I thought so. And I thought radio was something I'd do for 2 or 3 years and then do something else. And I never did anything else.
Sometimes it just hits you like that. And then you look back and it's like, where did all the time go?
Yeah. Now, 2021, I'll be doing something else. What that is, I don't know. But I've just decided that, you know, I'm retiring from radio. I don't know. I don't know what the future holds, but I know who holds the future. So,
dude, I never would have imagined that. And
no, that's awesome, man. That's so kind of
thank you.
Unexpected. I think it was 84 that said it in the chat. He said, "Oh, it kind of makes sense. Magic Lasso has the radio voice."
Radio voice.
Thank you.
Were you as a music director? Are you more behind the scenes? Like you said, picking the artists that are going to be on influencing the charts and stuff like that, or were you also like a radio personality?
I was both.
Yeah,
I was both. I was music director, and at one point I did overnights, and at one point I did evenings, and at one point I did afternoons, and afternoons are really loved. Second most listened to time slot in radio, and I could stay up late and sleep in. And that was fantastic. That just fit my schedule perfectly.
Yeah.
So my typical day would be, I would go in the office about noon, and I would do my music director responsibilities. If there were any commercials or something that needed to be recorded, I would take care of that. If we had artist interviews or an artist visit, I would schedule those for that time. At 3 o'clock, I would go on the air, and we did our shows live. That's the way management liked. You can go ahead and pre-record something ahead of time, at stations, and we have the capabilities of doing that, but it certainly takes the feeling away than when you're actually live.
Definitely.
So I would do a 4-hour live show, and 4 hours live doesn't sound like it's long. That's a long time.
It's a long time.
And so I'd get done with my show at 7. I would go home, eat, maybe watch TV a little bit. And then about 8, I would kind of listen to my new music that came in that day, or start writing emails that I would send out the next day, requesting whatever I needed, from autograph CDs to meet and greet and backstage passes for a concert, to pitching an idea for an artist to come up to do an appreciation show or something like that. I would fill out my last of my 8 hours each day by doing that at my convenience at home in my pajamas.
Who was the first major artist that you met that, or you knew was coming to the station? Maybe even when you were 16 and someone was coming to the station, and you were like, "Oh my goodness!" You were like in awe. Do you remember that moment?
We didn't have
starstruck.
We didn't have a lot of those in-person visits until the end, because our station actually moved to a bigger town that was better located for appearances, because we were an hour southwest of Madison, Wisconsin.
Okay.
So, but I do remember an act that there was an act that when they first came out, I said, "Oh, there's something here. There is something with this act." And the more I listened to this record, and the more I started watching videos and social media, and just really became enamored with this act. And I thought, I've got to get them in this radio station before they get so big that they can't come to the radio station.
Right.
Wow.
And I got them in the radio station. It was Lady Antebellum.
Oh, wow.
So.
Wow. Dude, that's awesome. And you get the music way before it comes out, right?
Yeah, for most artists, yeah. I mean, Garth Brooks was an exception. You usually didn't get his until like the night before. Where everyone else, you had it for sometimes, in a couple of cases, a couple months. And there's a few projects I have that were unreleased by artists that they send advances out to radio of an album that never ended up coming out because they changed direction or they didn't get the feedback they were looking for. So I've held on to those as collector's items.
Wow. That's awesome.
So you got Lady Antebellum before they hit it big?
Yeah.
And you just knew it. You just knew
I knew it. And I lucked out. I went and saw him live. I think I saw him 7 times in a 10-month period.
Oh my God.
So we became like, they could see me and it's Ryan,
Yeah.
And they were excited, being a new act. They were excited that someone was so excited about them. Hanson, that's funny.
Yeah, comic bags.
They were, at that stage, they were so excited that I was excited about them. And I remember we had a charity event that I participated in each year and collecting items for. And one of the big things we always had was a guitar that was signed by like 20 to 30 country music artists, all on one guitar.
Wow.
And I gave them a guitar as the second act to sign it. And Loretta Lynn was the first act who had signed it. And they kept saying to me, "I don't know if we should be signing this. Are you sure you want us to sign this guitar? Loretta Lynn wrote on this. I don't think we should be doing this."
You met Loretta Lynn?
Oh, I've met Loretta Lynn a couple times. Yeah.
Oh my goodness, bro.
And before you ask, yes, these eyes have seen Dolly. Face to face.
See, to me, it's Loretta Lynn, man, coal miner's daughter. Oh my goodness, dude. I remember watching that movie as a kid, and I was like, oh my, wow, dude, everything she went. Okay, all right, I'm sorry. And Dolly Parton, man, God bless
Dolly Parton.
Man, she's just made a great contribution to the COVID. Oh my God.
And Javi, you're probably not familiar with her, but Hialeah, you might be. Tammy Wynette.
Yes, of course.
Tammy Wynette, when I met her, is one of the few. I met her a few times before she passed. She's one of the few human beings that I've ever met in my life that I met her as a stranger, and there was just this connection, this strong connection between us. And I felt it immediately. And the last time that I met her, they invited me on the tour bus. She had finished the show. She didn't know she had folks to meet. So she threw her stage wig back on and she had her bathrobe on.
What?
She had her bathrobe on and her stage wig on. And she ushered us in the bus, and I was talking to her again. There was only 6 of us, me and my guest and 4 other people. And she was sitting right next to me on the tour bus.
Uh-huh.
And we had this great visit. And once again, I felt this strong connection to her. And she knew that I wasn't just someone who wanted to meet her because she was famous. She knew that I knew who she was. And I knew album cuts of hers, that weren't even the big, anyone can name the big hit songs, but when you know the album cuts, and she knew that I knew her music, and I think she really dug that. But what I'll never forget is sitting there on her tour bus. She's in her nightgown and her stage wig. When we get done visiting, I'm still sitting there. She's talking to someone in the couch across from us, and she reaches over and she grabs my hand and she starts holding it. And she held my hand the entire time while we were visiting on that bus, even when we weren't speaking to each other.
Yeah.
And I knew that she was very sick at the time, and this was in the fall, and she passed that next spring.
No.
I knew when I walked off that bus and I got into my car, I had tears in my eyes because I knew I would never see her again.
Yeah.
And when she passed, I was actually on the air, and not on the air, but off the air.
Mm-hmm.
I cried that she had passed. So just, I've never had such a connection to a person. And it was like that every time I met her. It was almost eerie.
And it was for her too. You were like a calming force for her, probably.
Yeah.
That's how I take it. Holding someone's hand, that's like you're a soothing,
Mm-hmm.
Just, wow. What
relaxing, yeah.
Yeah.
That's great. I'm not the biggest country fan. I'm not, but I do know the artists. I do know a lot of the songs. I gotta admit, I'm a huge Urban Cowboy fan.
Oh, yeah.
I know a lot of people hate on that movie, but that's one of my favorite all-time movies. I just love
That's
that.
a good movie.
A lot of people hate that movie.
I don't know why. Do you remember what Deborah Winger's first role ever was, though? The first acting job she ever got in her life, Deborah Winger.
Oh my God, Deborah Winger.
It was on. I'll tell you, it was television, not a movie.
Then I won't know. I don't know.
Deborah Winger's very first job was playing Wonder Girl in the Linda Carter Wonder Woman TV series.
That's right. Oh my
she was in 3 episodes.
That's right. It's a circle.
Yeah, it's a circle.
Small world.
Oh, wow, that is so cool. We're actually gonna name we name all our dogs with an S.
Mm-hmm.
So our next dog is gonna be Sissy for her.
Oh yeah, Sissy, Bud and Sissy.
Yeah, Bud.
Yeah, Bud.
Yeah, Sissy, and yeah. Okay, that's enough about me. Okay, who was those acts that brought you on stage, that walked you from the tour? Who can you? You said it happened a few times. Name one of the bands or artists that you did that, if you remember.
Oh, I remember. I know you remember. It's a matter of if you're going to share. There's some things in the music industry
that you don't share.
You don't want to name because you don't want someone else at a radio station to go to that act and say, you took him on the bus and did this, and you didn't do it for me. I'm not going to play your record.
Yeah. No.
So I kind of want to respect that a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah. But I will tell you an act that, while this wasn't walking from the bus to the stage, that pulled me up on stage, not once, but twice to sing, and that was the Judds.
What?
I was just about to ask that. I was like, has there been any time where an artist has pulled you up onto stage to sing?
Yeah.
Nice. That's awesome. And how was that? Because I know you were talking about the exciting nerves. It was the same thing, right?
The funny thing was, they did it in 1987 at the second concert I ever went to in my life. Just randomly pulled me on. I wasn't even radio at that time. Pulled me on stage.
Stop. Are you serious?
I'm serious.
The Judds pulled you
Judds. Yeah.
Dude, just randomly.
But I had the fan club shirt on too, so I mean, they knew I was a fan,
But they were massive.
The Judds were huge.
Huge.
Yeah. And the second time was in 2010 when they were doing a reunion tour. Now this time I'm Mr. Radio now, and we had visited backstage before the show, and the exact same song starts, and I'm sitting once again in the front row, and I'm thinking to myself, that would be too weird if that happened.
There's no way. There's no way.
And then they start the song. Naomi, who's the mother, she looks at me when they're starting the second verse, and she goes, and I knew it because that's what she did to me the last time. I knew it. I walk up to her. Security is leaving me alone. I walk up to her. They get to the second chorus. She puts the microphone down, and I belt that chorus out like there's no tomorrow. Now, keep in mind, I could be a great singer if it wasn't for my voice. So I sing this entire verse, and I get done, and I just stand there, and I take me a big old bow. And then the song finishes, and Winona, the daughter, she says, I don't remember it sounding like that when it was on the radio. And she said, honey, I'm going to tell you something. I'll tell you what I liked about your performance. She goes, it wasn't your singing because that wasn't any good. She said, but you came up here and you gave it everything you had. And that's what I love about it.
Nice.
What song was that?
Mama, Hes Crazy, which was their first #1 record, which they released in 1984.
All right, I gotta go listen to that after the stream.
Now, here's the deal. I can remember that. Can I remember where I parked at Target when I walk out of the store? No.
That's usually how it goes. And real quick to Sharon, I'm not a massive fan, but I do know country. It's just not my forte. But I do know. I know Alabama. I know quite a bit. I thought you were going to say Alabama for some reason, but that would have been too far.
I'm definitely aware of Alabama. That's actually my mom's second favorite act. So I'm an Alabama fan for sure.
Awesome.
But Alabama, the Judds, Randy Travis. My favorite singer of all time is Barbara Mandrell.
Oh my God! Remember she had the TV show. I remember she had the Mandrell sisters.
Yeah.
Right.
Is that still in its packaging?
It is. This just came out this past summer. It was her first. She retired in 97, and I went to her farewell concert and actually sat in the row in front of her family.
Oh, wow.
And they taped it for a TV special too. I even got me a little close up in the TV special. You can find that on YouTube if you know exactly where to look. Had my big old glasses on back then. And
oh man, I'm totally going to find that.
But Barbara Mandrell is my favorite. And I know that I see Flashpoint's comment. Javi, I know that you might not be as familiar with her, but she was the total package.
Hey, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Look at what Sharon's asking. She missed the beginning of the show.
You missed it. Sharon, I didn't meet her once. I met her twice. Catch the rewind for that one because I had a story.
You gotta catch the rewind. I'm sorry for interrupting.
No, it's fine. But Barbara was this little tiny package. She could play any instrument that was in front of her. She was always pitch perfect. I mean, her vocals were pitch perfect. She was gorgeous. Mm-hmm. And when I first became aware of music outside of like little kids songs like The Wheel and the Bus Go Round and Round, Barbara Mandrell was the biggest thing in music. Mm-hmm. And I would want to come home from school and during the ride home, hoping that a Barbara Mandrell song would come on the radio. And it felt like it always did because she was so big at that time.
She was big.
Yeah. And you know, even though I was in country radio, it afforded me some opportunities to meet some other people outside of country music. There's not many in the world of country music that I have not met. I've been very fortunate. I've met Garth a few times.
Can I ask real quick?
Yeah.
Did you meet Johnny Cash?
Did not. I really wish I would have.
Okay.
Did not. But like I said, outside of country music, there were some people that being in country music somehow indirectly got me in contact with some other famous folks. And I had the chance to meet Elton John.
No way.
No way.
Yeah.
Wow.
How did that happen?
I had a friend that it was kind of like Make-A-Wish. She worked with Make-A-Wish children. It wasn't the Make-A-Wish Foundation per se, but it was similar to that. A different company, similar goals. And they were taking some kids to an Elton John concert. And she said to me, I have a chaperone pass. And the person who was going to go with me backed out. Do you want to go? We're going to meet Elton too. And I said, I'm going. I said, as long as you're sure that I'm not taking a ticket or an opportunity away from a child, because I don't want to do that. She said, no, all the kids are going and these are chaperone tickets and you just come along. And so I went and he put us in his dressing room, full spread of food. And we didn't see him till about 10 minutes before showtime. And he came in fully dressed in his stage wear. He was quiet, but he was kind, but he was real quiet. And I was telling him a song of his that I liked, and he just went, I'd say something, go, but he was friendly. He would sign autographs. He took pictures with us. None of that was a problem. But what I remember the most is when he walked out of the room, he started to walk out. He turned around and said to us, and there was only 6 of us in the room. He said, clap loud, y'all. And he got in his little cart and they took him to the stage.
Wow.
Wow.
What was the song? What was the song?
It was called A Woman Needs, and it was a duet between Elton and Tammy Wynette.
Nice. Oh, nice.
So
I know he came out with Honky Chateau, which is more of like a country-esque album, I guess you can call it. Yeah.
Dude, you probably have a ton of, I can only imagine all the stories you have.
Someday I would like to write a book, and I want to call my book Everything You Wanted to Know, but I Was Too Afraid You Would Ask.
Nice. That's awesome.
So I'd like to do that someday and tell some stories. I've definitely seen stuff behind the scenes that most people have never seen or maybe hadn't even thought of. I've been so fortunate. I've seen some amazing things in the music business. I've also seen some horrible things in the music business too.
I was about to, I didn't want to ask that question. I didn't want to ask that.
They exist. I mean, nightmare stories exist.
Why did you decide to step away finally after so many years?
I don't think it necessarily was my decision. I mean, radio is downsizing like crazy. Okay. So, and our station was a victim of that. Okay. And after that, the competition is just too tough. And I really liked being a music director more than I liked being on air. Mm-hmm. And I just thought, I wouldn't rule out doing something in the business side of the music business, but I also wouldn't rule out doing something that has nothing to do with music at all either. I'm open to that too. A huge highlight for me, it's probably the second biggest thing that could have happened to me in this little small market station. I won a national award called Reporter of the Year. And when I say Reporter of the Year, it's not like Lois Lane or Clark Kent, not that type of reporting. Right. You're reporting your playlist. So essentially what that means is you're Music Director of the Year. And I was a National Music Director of the Year 5 years ago.
Wow.
My parents got to come to Nashville to see the ceremony.
Wow.
Which was such a thrill. And one thing, I'll never forget this. I knew that I had won, but nobody else knew I had won. And because they want to make sure you're at the ceremony.
Right.
And I knew going into this that something will happen that I'm not expecting. What's it going to be? Will I trip on a cord walking on stage and fall down? Will I burp in the microphone? I'm smart enough to know that something's going to happen to me that I'm not expecting, but I don't know what. And it comes to the award ceremony. My award is last of the evening. I'm the big award of the evening.
Oh my goodness.
Here, Miranda Lambert has already won an award that evening. Eric Church has won an award. And here I'm standing backstage going, I have to go out and deliver this speech that I haven't gotten through without crying once. And I'm like, something's going to happen to me, and something's going to happen. So something did happen. Something happened to me. And I was not expecting this at all. And they announced my name as the winner. And I expected polite applause.
Mm-hmm.
People were screaming for me.
Are you serious?
It was deafening. And that was my thing that happened that I wasn't expecting. That they screamed for me. Every person should feel the way that I felt in that moment, sometime in their life. It takes me back right now, even just talking about that. I can see the lights hitting me when I walked on that stage, and hearing that, it was the best thing that ever could have happened.
And your parents were there.
They were there.
That makes it all the more special, man.
Yeah.
Wow. I have that feeling almost every time I go live.
Yeah.
I'm kidding, man. That is amazing.
Yeah.
And how did your speech go?
I got through the speech, didn't choke up once. I was so proud of it. No one had heard it. No one had heard it except me practicing it in the mirror. And I was very close with my grandmother who had passed a while back. And I closed it by dedicating that award to her.
Wow.
And yeah. I've got video of it. I haven't watched it. I don't know if I'm going to, I have it, and that's what counts. If I want to watch it, I have it to watch it.
Yeah.
It might not be as good as my memory is. I don't know.
Right.
But it's
that memory, that's what's good.
Definite highlight, right?
Yeah, for sure.
High point. That's amazing. Yeah, everybody, you would wish that everybody could, but you're in the minority. You know that, right?
I do. Everybody should feel that way sometime in their life. It's amazing.
You're blessed. You're blessed. And
absolutely.
One that happened, and you receive that recognition, because most people do not receive that recognition.
Yeah.
Right.
So, man, I'm happy for you.
Thank you.
I'm actually surprised that you didn't choke up during the speech, though.
I did.
I've seen you do some AOKs.
Yeah, I got choked up during that, and with Matt leaving YouTube, and I'll probably be taking his place as I like to say. I like to put the mental and sentimental. So I'll be the one who's going to be going on cam and just let the tears flow.
Now you can.
Now you can. Yeah.
Yeah.
And now everybody can see it. It won't be behind the scenes. It won't be behind the scenes.
Exactly.
That's incredible. Man, I'm sorry I haven't addressed the chat. I've been trying to.
No, go ahead.
I'm trying to highlight it, but I don't even know if I can. There's been so many people in here that have come in and go, Patrick Wall, Sharon, Comic Mags, Louis, Flashpoint, Comic Fu.
Comic Fu was one of the reasons I got into YouTube. He was one of three or four people that I watched.
Derek.
And I was watching him, and I saw his friendship with Squatchy. And I thought, oh my gosh, they just look like they're having so much fun. I want to have something like that. And the fact that Comic Fu even knows who I am, to me, is like, that felt like a huge accomplishment. And he almost has 2,000 subscribers, and he actually knows who I am, and he replies to me when I message him, and I'm like, wow. That was huge for me. He will always go down as, I'm kind of in this crazy. I'm kind of here right now with you indirectly because of Comic Fu.
Right.
Wow. Yeah.
You know what freaks me out, though?
What's that?
You're freaking out because Comic Fu knows you. He almost has 2,000. But you've met this person. You've held hands with this person. You've gone on stage. They've taken you on stage, and and we're just YouTubers. We're the little people.
Now everybody's important.
And that's the point, man. You still, it still means something to you, and that's what's amazing. It's everybody means something, right?
Everybody means something. It goes back to what I told you before. People remember how you made them feel.
Yeah, definitely. Man, incredible. You also received an amazing AOK from Comic Fu.
I did.
You opened it up and it had all the confetti. Right?
I am still finding confetti, and I'm finding it in rooms that I have no idea how it got there. And so you know what I did to him? The last thing that I sent him, I really prefaced him. I'm like, go ahead and open it live. I dare you. And I didn't do a single thing to him, but I got him mentally worried and thinking about it. So now the next time I send him something, he doesn't know what direction I'm going to go. Innocent. Yeah. Right.
Dude, funny.
That's awesome.
Dude, yeah. Awesome, man. You also got one. I know you got one from Man Cave, but I almost freaking cried.
Comic books shouldn't make you cry, but they do.
But that one was everyone's special, like you said. But man, that one, and I actually talked to Man Cave after. Well, not after, recently, and I brought that up to him. And he was like, "Yeah, I didn't even know. I really he didn't know the significance it was going to hit you with. That book was gonna what it was going to mean to you."
There has been an envelope upstairs that I have thrown money in for a couple years in hopes to buy that book.
That's crazy.
$20 here, $15 there.
That's
just
crazy.
Throwing it in, and it was for that book specifically.
That's crazy.
I had no idea. And I don't know what I've done to deserve that. I'm appreciative of it. And I look at it as I look at some other books, like my Sensation comics. I never thought I'd own a Sensation comics, and I have 3 of them now. And I don't know if Man Cave, I really haven't had this conversation with him, if he was kind of like, this dude freaked out a little bit too much on this or not.
No.
Or, okay.
No.
Well, that's good. That's good to know.
No, he didn't take that. Comic Fu was with the Sensation, right?
Yeah, and Comic Books NYC sent a Sensation as well. And then I bought one, so I have 3.
That's crazy. No, Man Cave took it the right way.
Good.
He just didn't know. He was as surprised. I guess. He was as surprised with your reaction as you were with the book.
Wow.
Because he did not know it was going to mean that to you.
Oh yeah.
And that's always the best part.
That's probably, for those that don't know, he sent me Wonder Woman 98, which is the first Silver Age Wonder Woman. And that's probably, I'd say, the 4th biggest Wonder Woman book of all time.
Wow, I didn't even
Of all time, it's probably the 4th. It's probably All-Star Comics number 8, which is her first appearance. Yeah. Sensation Comics number 1, which is her first cover appearance. Wonder Woman number 1, and then Wonder Woman 98.
Wow.
That's huge.
Wow, that's awesome.
Why Wonder Woman, Lasso?
Gosh, that's something that I've wondered myself for a while. I was really influenced by the Super Friends cartoon. Oh. And I know that the Linda Carter TV show was going on at the same time, but the Super Friends cartoon I really loved. And if not my very first comic book memory that I have, sorry, reading CMM's comments. So, 90s here, cool. Yeah. So one of the, if not the first comic book memory that I have, was saying to my parents, because I was reading a Super Friends comic book or a Justice League comic book, and saying, man, I like Wonder Woman. I really, really like Wonder Woman. And they said, well, she has her own book. And I was blown my mind. I had no idea. And they went out and found me a Wonder Woman comic book after a few weeks. And I actually know what my very first Wonder Woman comic book that I owned was. I don't know what my first comic book ever was,
right? But
I do know my first Wonder Woman comic book. And I would think the Linda Carter TV show heavily influenced me. I would watch that TV show, and I would go in my room, and I would sit down. I'd kneel down, and, dear God, I want to meet Linda Carter. I love Linda Carter. Yeah, and that happened. I met Linda Carter maybe, I don't know, 15 years ago or so.
And
just the one time?
I met her one time, and then she called the radio station to sing happy birthday to me another year. Yeah.
No way.
Wow. So that was pretty cool. But
how did she just knew you were a huge fan of hers, or
friends? When you have friends in the industry, everyone knows a publicist who knows someone who says, hey, can you get so-and-so to do this? Or can you get
Oh my goodness, man.
And someone said, this is his birthday. Can Linda Carter call him and sing happy birthday to him? That, that's the best present I can give this guy. And
wow.
And it happened. But my first experience meeting Linda was so good that I don't know if I want to meet her again, because I don't think it could top it.
Please do share.
Linda Carter is singing right now, for those that don't know, and she sings kind of jazz style. And when she was testing out the market to see if she wanted to sing, she was doing like a week of shows in some major markets. And for those that don't know, I'm in the Midwest. I'm in Wisconsin, and the closest she was coming was Chicago. And she was doing a week of shows in Chicago. And when tickets went on sale, I called up and I said to the person who answered the phone, what's the closest you can get me to Linda Carter for, a ticket on any night? I don't care what night it is. What's the closest I can sit? And she went through and she said, well, for the Saturday night show, I have a front row table. I said, I want it. So I bought my tickets, and then I have only done this a handful of times. I started pulling every string I had. Does anyone know Linda Carter? Does anyone know Linda Carter's publicist? Does anyone know anyone who knows Linda Carter? Anything I try to work that angle. And I was talking to someone, and they weren't saying no. They weren't saying no, she isn't going to meet you, but they weren't saying yes either. And they kind of left it to, you'll find out when you get to the show if she's going to meet you or not. And I thought, so I went to the show, and when I touched base with the person, they said, yeah, she's going to see you after the show.
Wow.
And I said, okay. And so the show starts. I'm in the front row wearing a suit and a tie. My foot is so close that when I fully extended my leg, I could touch the stage. That's how close I was.
Wow.
The lights dim at 8:00 promptly. You hear Linda Carter singing from off stage. Just a little bit. You hear Linda Carter singing from off stage, and she opens the show by coming in the back, walking through the audience. And the first time I see her, I'm like, oh my gosh, that is Wonder Woman. Wow. That's not Linda Carter. That's Wonder Woman. She looks fantastic. She still does. And so we go through this entire show, hang back afterwards. There was a few other people besides us that she met. And when it's my turn to meet her, I started telling her how I was a little kid and I would go in my room after watching her and say, I just want to meet Linda Carter. And I said, now it's happening. And she reaches her hands out and hugs me, and someone snaps a photo of it. So I have that photo.
Wow.
And she said to me, Ryan, I really should be the person who's thanking you. She said, you got all dressed up tonight. You sat in the front row and you looked and smiled at me the entire show and made me feel so fantastic when I was singing. She says, if anyone has to give thanks, it's me to you.
Wow.
And I'm like I play it real cool in front of them, but internally, I am a chocolate chip in the microwave, just melting.
Wow.
And she signed everything I wanted her to sign. We did a nice photo together. I had the photo of her hugging me. So I don't know if I want to meet her again, because it just was so good.
Wow, dude.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Bro, I used to watch Wonder Woman when I was a kid, and she was like a god.
Yeah.
God, when I remember spinning in my room, you know how she would spin?
Yeah.
And then she would, dude, Wonder Woman, dude, that show, everybody talks about the Incredible Hulk show, and the Wonder Woman show really doesn't get as much love, but that show was, it was so good.
And I'll tell you what, and you'll see how this pieces together in a moment. I was so mad at the Dukes of Hazzard. I hated them Dukes of Hazzard because they came on after they took Wonder Woman off the air to put Dukes of Hazzard on.
Yeah,
so if them Dukes of Hazzard hadn't been around, my Wonder Woman still would have been on Friday nights.
Yeah.
For a long time, I did not like the Dukes of Hazzard.
It was Hulk, Dukes of Hazzard, and then Knots Landing, right? I think
Dallas, I think, but
or Dallas, maybe Dallas, yeah. Oh my god!
Look at Comic Food's comment. Lasso met Linda. What's next, Gal?
Gal, exactly.
I talk about, envelopes that are upstairs, and there's an envelope upstairs that money goes in to meet Gal. If conventions come back, I'm lucky enough. I mentioned I'm an autograph collector too. I do have a signed and personalized photo from Gal already, signed to my name. So,
wow. Mags is the best, bro. Mags was the best. Oh yeah, it was a great show, man. Another show that you kind of brought up, somebody else that you're a fan of, is the Batman 66 show, and Judy Newmar. I saw that on one of your videos. She's my favorite Catwoman.
She's my favorite Catwoman too. And then probably Michelle Pfeiffer, but Michelle Pfeiffer was heavily influenced by Julie Newmar. So
she was the best.
Yeah. Then she was seductive. She was naughty. She was flirtatious. She was gorgeous. Yeah.
She was Catwoman. She was Catwoman.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Man, I don't even know where to go, man. And you got me spinning. I don't know what
but this all spawns from what your origin story was for comics. And then
this is all the answer to your first question. I just went rambling.
No, but that's awesome. That's awesome, man.
Hialeah, I did pull something to show you. I did pull many things, but I did pull something to show you, and you will understand when I show this. It's a comic book. You will understand that I had you in mind when I pulled this book. Okay. All right. So if you're ready,
let's do it. Oh, nice. Obnoxio the Clown, X-Men. You're an X-Men fan as well.
Yeah. I'm not just DC. I mean, DC is my main passion, but I like Marvel too. I'm more Bronze Age. So I just remember you talking about this book, and you said you didn't know anyone that actually owned a copy of this book.
Well, now you do. Now I do. I don't know anybody. I've never seen that book in person.
It's real.
I remember they would in the Mile High, the insert. Yeah. It would always be Obnoxio the Clown, X-Men Obnoxio the Clown, all by itself.
Yeah.
What the fuck exists? Wow. Yeah. Dude. And you recently got a slab.
Yes. I didn't get my first slabs until this year, and I have 9 of them now. I've either won or been A-okay'd all but one of them. I purchased one, and then 8 I've either won or have been A-okay'd.
That's how it started with my slabs too.
Really?
Yeah.
What's the one that you purchased?
There's a Wonder Woman 750 that was only available slabbed.
Nice.
They did not sell raw copies. They did 51 copies or 51 different covers for that issue, and I have them all.
Nice. Wow.
Yeah.
You need to hang out. You and Goat have to do a show.
I know, but I just want to hear him say Dolly Parton.
Dolly Parton.
You guys are like freaking Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Wonder Woman guys.
Dan Piercy likes Wonder Woman a lot too.
Really?
Yeah. He's really into Wonder Woman.
I think Goat has all 51 covers as well.
Does he? Yeah.
I believe so, if I'm not mistaken.
Have I met any Southern rock bands? I've seen some. It's just a question if I've met them. And I've seen some in some unusual circumstances. Like I would go to this event yearly, country radio seminar in Nashville, and they would put on this entertainment that was just private for us. And you would see collaborations like ZZ Top singing with Brad Paisley.
Wow.
And it was just for us. It was a private concert for us that wasn't filmed for TV or nothing like that. It was just for us.
How lucky are you?
I was very blessed. So,
my goodness.
And for those, I did mention, we briefly talked about Dolly. I want to tell you what it's like meeting Dolly Parton. So Dolly Parton, and I've met her a few times. The hair is so huge. The wig is so huge and she always has her stage makeup on. So she's got a tiny face, but it's just covered in color. And her breasts are so big.
And she's tiny.
But her waist is so small and her legs are so tiny. She's the only person that looks like an animated cartoon come to life. But she was kind. Every person would get treated the same. I don't care who you are, you get the same treatment from her.
Wow.
One time when I met her, they had more than they usually have back for guests, and they had us all lined up against a wall, and she walked in and she said, "What are y'all lined up against the wall? Am I supposed to figure out which one of you done it?" And she said, "They probably told you before I came in here to make it real brief when you came up to me, because we have a lot of people tonight, but don't worry about that. Just come on up and we'll have us a nice visit together." And once you got up there, they didn't push you through or nothing. And it was very cool.
That's amazing. And she's been married forever, right?
She has, to a guy that hasn't had a photograph published in decades.
Really?
Yeah. He's kind of the mystery man.
Wow, that I didn't know. Because
Yeah.
you look at her, and the breast, of course, you think a sex symbol, but she's been she's been happily married for forever.
Yeah, since the 60s.
And you wouldn't think that. You wouldn't think that. Especially, I guess this movie came out a long time ago, but when the 9 to 5 came out, she was like the...
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Kathy Coleman was after her. And,
yeah.
And that's not who she is.
No, it isn't. But every person gets treated the same. You imagine how Dolly Parton would treat you, and you're probably correct.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, and Kenny Rogers was someone else that, we lost him this year, that I met him, and it's so neat to see some of the biggest stars are the nicest.
That's amazing.
Kenny Rogers didn't need to be nice to me for any reason. He was a legend when I met him. Every time I met him, he was already a legend, and being mean to me wouldn't have changed that in one iota,
Mm-hmm.
And he was so kind every time. I would sit here, he would talk to me about something, and in my mind, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, Kenny Rogers wants to have a conversation with me. This is...
Yeah.
That's what I was about to ask you, man. When you're sitting there and these mega stars are talking to you, what are you thinking? Are you even listening to what they're saying? Are you like, pinch me, or...
No, I'm pretty good about paying attention most of the time, but I can walk away, and then when I'm away from them, I have my moment. As I said, Barbara Mandrell is my favorite singer, and having met her face to face and talked to her on the phone several times, I'm fine when I speak to her. When it's going on, I'm fine. But like if I hang up the phone with her, then I freak out.
Yeah.
Then I walk around with my hands up circling and stuff.
Yeah.
And I saw to answer Foo's question, this is the first year I haven't been to Nashville in 22 or 3 years.
Wow.
I have a lot of friends down there too, and I'm hoping to get back down there, even if it has nothing to do with country music. So I'm hoping to make it back down there. I know that he's in the area, so I would definitely like to get a chance to say hi.
What? Oh my God, Rhinestone Cowboy. What do your parents say? You're meeting all these people. Are they country fans?
They are.
Are they in awe as well? Or you've met, or they're already used to it?
If they are, they haven't really expressed that to me.
Really?
Yeah. My parents, it's weird. I've heard them say several times, they don't know where my personality came from because it's so unlike theirs. Like they wouldn't be one to jump out on, to be the center of attention and I really have always kind of, at least I thought I've embraced that. They haven't really said anything about it. I'm so appreciative of my parents for so many things, but one thing, I'm an only child. So throughout my entire life, I haven't had that many people to talk about comic books with.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not into comic books. They're not into superheroes. They don't watch the movies.
Mm-hmm.
But if I talk about it, they listen and they don't just go, they'll, and that's
engage.
They'll engage, and it's not their thing, but I'm conscious of that and appreciative of that.
They have to be so proud.
I hope so. I hope that I'm the son that they're proud of. So
I don't think you have any. I don't have any doubt that they are. They have to be. That's.
And for the chat there, I finally realized how I can see the chat comments. I finally have clicked over to that button, so now I'm actually seeing what you're saying. So
you clicked over from private chat.
Yes. So for those that have said something and I've ignored, it was not on purpose. So
no, they understand.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say this is changing gears a little bit. I went to New York City for the first and only time in my life 2 years ago.
Okay.
And I think of this story ever since I've seen you, and especially watching the Start Me Up show. Mm-hmm. What I wanted to do when I went to New York City, I wanted to do everything, but two things I specifically wanted to do. I wanted to go to Studio 54, even though it's not there anymore. I mean, it's not a Studio 54 club anymore. It's something different, but the building is there. I wanted to do that. So the day that I went to do that, it was at night, and I got there, and I wanted to get my picture taken because the original 54 doors are still up that say 54 on them.
I haven't done that, man. I haven't done that.
So I get there, and I'm literally about to walk up and get my picture taken in front of the 54 doors. And this guy comes out who works at this theater now, and he's pulling the thing down. He's like, move, and I'm like, I just want to get my picture real quick. He's like, we're closed, and I'm like, oh, totally. I was like 5 seconds too late. 5 seconds.
Wow.
And so I stood out there just kind of looking. I just wanted to touch the door, and I couldn't touch the door. And all of a sudden, I'm out there maybe a minute and a half or so, and the guy comes back and he goes, I'm so sorry I was rude. He goes, I know you just want a quick picture in front of it. And he unlocks it, opens it, the gate back up, and lets me get my picture and touch the door.
Wow.
Dude,
that's awesome.
So just to think of how many people wanted to be in that building, and even though it's not Studio 54, I made it decades late, and I wasn't of age when 54 was a thing. I always say that had I been of age, I probably wouldn't be alive right now. I mean, if I was of age and went to 54, who knows what I would have done? But
would have done exactly.
But I got to do that, and I think of you a lot when we hear these disco songs and Start Me Up, and it takes me to 54, and I hear you sing, and I love to see your excitement about that. I think of that story and going back to, or actually getting to go to 54. And trust me, people go to New York all the time. I actually thought I'd live in New York someday, and here it wasn't until 2 years ago that I've only visited once.
Isn't it amazing though?
Loved it.
Oh my God.
It's the most electric city that I've ever been in. And I love how close everything is together. Once you're like, I just saw this landmark, you're at the next landmark.
And you're we didn't go into the city, but we just drove up for the first time. We drove, me and my wife, to Long Island. And it's the first time we go and we don't go into the city. And every time I go to that city, it's like mind blown. And I've never thought to go to, I can't believe those doors are still up. I've never thought to go there. I've been to the old CBGB, but I never thought of studio. I wouldn't think that was still there.
It is there. Now, do you remember that disco song that goes, freak out? Remember that? Okay.
The Freak.
Do you know the story behind that song?
No, that's Chic, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So these guys were told that they were going to be on the list at Studio 54 one night, and they get to 54 and they're not on the list, and they're not getting let in, and they can't get in. So they're walking down the alley next to Studio 54, and they're singing F off. They're singing Freak Out, only F off.
No way.
That's how Freak Out was made. So besides wanting to touch the doors, I wanted to walk down the alley and sing Freak Out.
Wow.
Which at 10 o'clock at night in New York City, should you be walking down an alley? I don't know. But once I got there, the alley doesn't exist anymore because 54 used to be on a corner. It's not on a corner anymore. They've built on the block since then. So that alley does not exist. It's a parking ramp.
Wow.
St. Patrick Law.
I always
Yes, disco.
Like when people ask me, man, I would have loved. Okay, I don't know if this is gonna sound right, but
We have one of Hialeah's
I've said this
popular
before.
comments.
If you could be anybody, man, I can't imagine being John Travolta in 1978 after Saturday Night Fever came out. Imagine him going to Studio 54 and the doors just. Can you imagine that guy in that place after that movie came out? He was God.
Absolutely. I mean, everyone wanted to be him,
I would want to be him in that moment, man. Just to go to a freaking disco after Saturday Night Live came out.
Yeah.
Get out of town. And the thing is, I've heard so many stories about that. Everybody would go like to the VIP room, and it was a hellhole pretty much. It was, I've looked into it a lot. It's,
you've got to go. You've got to go to say that you've made it.
Next time we go like to New York like once. Well, this year has been different, but
yeah,
we go like once or twice a year. And yes, next time we go into the city, I definitely will. I'm always thinking about comic shops, though. What different comic shops to hit. Yeah,
I would like to actually do some comic hunting up there too, at that warehouse place that's only open like once a month or something like that. That's where I want to go. Even though I've heard that you might need a tetanus shot once you leave. So
yeah, you know what? I've heard the same thing. It's almost like, I don't know what you're gonna find there.
Yeah. So the other thing I wanted to do in New York that was my big to do that nobody else would want to do. I wanted to go see the deluxe apartment in the Sky that the Jeffersons supposedly lived at. So I did.
Dude, you're a trip, bro. You didn't go to his laundromat? You didn't go to his laundromat?
I couldn't find Jefferson Cleaners, 7 locations, one near you, but I couldn't find one. But here's something that you just don't know until you're there. What is across the street from the building that the Jeffersons lived at? A Walgreens.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, there's a Walgreens across the street.
I thought it was the dry cleaners. Wasn't it supposed to be the dry cleaners?
Should have been the dry cleaners.
Should have been, yeah.
My God, dude.
And the next time I go to New York, what I want to do, I've researched this already. I want to go to the spot where Marilyn Monroe stood and her dress blew up.
Oh
yeah.
I want to do that. That's important to me. So just to say that I was there, I've read about that night, how the men came out in droves for blocks. There was nothing but men just trying to get a glimpse of this woman, And there was no internet back then to fuel that. She was a hot babe, and that's what they wanted to see.
Yeah.
Would you say she's top 5 all-time hottest, right?
Probably. I mean,
she's
probably the number 1 sex symbol of all time.
My God. Yeah, you would have to. Yeah, you would have to say that. I'm thinking. Yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
And you kind of like said it. There was no internet, no social media. How did these people know? How did these guys know? Hey, this is where she's gonna be at.
Just word of mouth, man.
That's crazy, bro. Man, we've got a crazy chat. Man, you bring out some really good people, man.
I see them now, and I'm so happy to. And I apologize. Like I said, I didn't know how to even find the comments before now, but I see people in here, and my mind is blown. I told Jeff Schultz earlier today, I said, I just hope that I can hold people's attention to stay long enough to want to watch.
And you have. Me and Javi always say it, man. This show is the easiest show we probably, because the guests, it's all about the guests, so we just got to keep it moving.
Yeah. But I mean, here, I haven't talked a lot about comic books hardly at all on this show.
But that's awesome. But that's awesome at the same time.
Yeah, it is. So I appreciate everyone that has come out, and and just listen to me tell some life experiences.
I think you, as being part of this community, you bring a lot of support to different people's channels. Definitely my channel. You're one of the main supporters of my channel. I know Hialeah, you probably watch his stuff, shows a lot too. Yep. But it kind of comes back around because everyone is here excited to see you, right? The whole face reveal, just learning about who you are. Oh, where does Magic Lasso, obviously Magic Lasso comes from the whole Wonder Woman fandom, but how did you start loving Wonder Woman and everything like that? The chat has been amazing tonight, and it's like you seen all these artists and bands live on the stage, right? It's like we're all here to see you.
Well, it feels fantastic, and I'm so appreciative of people's time. I mean, time's a big commitment to give somebody in something, and it doesn't go past me that people have shown up and have been kind. And I know people will reach out about this and mention something that I said on here, and it means a lot.
Look at these comments. Comic Fu. Seeing Lasso first in chat on nearly every video is such a great thing to see. Always helps to know your friends are there and he's there every time. And then Kid Collector Comics also. Magic Lasso was awesome in all the chats, but now he's on a different level of awesome.
Thank you. Yeah, I want 2021 to be a bigger year for me. Not that it wasn't a successful year. This year was one to flush down the commode for me, as it was for most people. But I want 2021 to really be a bigger year, and this is part of that happening. So,
I am super happy you did your big reveal on our show. Just for the simple fact that you're gonna see, man, it's not that big a deal, and you're gonna get so much back from it. I used to do the same thing. I would never show my face, and the minute I did, I felt liberated. It's like it's not that big a deal, man.
Oh man, look at Comics for Thomas. He's my biggest supporter off screen as on.
Thank you.
Awesome, man.
Yeah, that's a good guy there. I mean, there's a lot of great people here. Cookie's another great person. I mean, I could go on. Every person here is.
Cookie's okay. Cookie's okay.
He's just okay. So.
No, I'm kidding, Cookie. You know I love you, bro.
But I'll tell you something funny recently. It was funny to me is within the last couple of weeks, I've had a few people reach out and say, I didn't even know you had a channel. I just thought that you were just a chat supporter. And no, I've had a channel for about a year now. So
exactly. Yeah, a little over a year. Look at Jeff Schultz. You got to catch the replay, man. You got to catch the replay.
Yeah, I cranked one of those out. I got to write a new one for this week. Thanks, Squatch.
Yeah, man. That's awesome.
But big comic book collector. I love Bronze Age. I'm getting close to 4,500 books in my collection.
Oh, nice. That question. That's usually a question that I get to, or we get to. 4,500.
4,500. Yeah, I'm very close to it. I'll probably hit it. I'll hit it next month for sure. If not, maybe at the very end of this month. So.
And only 9 slabs. Have you got it?
9 slabs.
Have you gotten the itch?
Yeah, I like them. I like them. So,
are you thinking of any of those key Wonder Women to send them in to submit them, or is that cross?
Yeah, no, there's definitely some. I think just in the aspect of preserving them, right. It would be cool. Is my TV too loud? By the way, it just kind of kicked in. Okay, just wanted to check. I can hear it in the other room, and I didn't know if it was disturbing or not. So.
I can hear it, but it's not too bad.
Okay. All right. Cool. If it gets bad or something, just let me know. I'll go fix it. But there's some just in terms of like I have a 105, which is scarce. Overstreet Labels issue 105 is scarce, and I actually have one. So I want to get that slab just to have it protected.
You should. And oh look.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for doing that.
He has a great channel, actually.
You said Jeff is asking how is organizing your books going for you?
Longer than I thought. What I've done this week, I'm in a big process right now. My original collection that was at my parents' is now with me, and like Peaches and Herb, it's reunited and it feels so good. But I'm going through that original collection and rebagging and boarding. But I'm also taking all the books and organizing them A to Z DC and A to Z Marvel. Mm-hmm. And just in doing that, everything is just moving so much slower than I expected. But I'm going to be very happy when the process is done, just for the fact that it's done, but just the benefits of having it done.
Starting is the worst part, man.
It is, and I had 4,000 books in the living room for the last 2 or 3 days, and it was like a hoarder. I had paths to walk through, and I'm like, this. I'm not digging that. But as a matter of fact, when I get done with you, but before I go to bed tonight, some long boxes will get taken back upstairs and put away.
Yeah,
so that's good.
Get that exercise.
Yeah,
we're this close to being hoarders, right?
Yeah,
we're just like a hop, skip, and a jump away from being hoarders, all of us.
Yeah, exactly. But I can't help it. I love books, and I thought who would be my character if it wasn't Wonder Woman? Who would be? And I think I know the answer to it. Do you have any guesses?
I'm gonna say it's an X-Men. I'm gonna say
interesting.
I'm gonna say Cyclops.
Okay.
Oh man. I don't know. I was gonna say somebody who's more entertaining. Cyclops is more reserved.
The thing is, I didn't know he was an X-Men fan, and he's.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I love X-Men.
Yeah, I've realized that.
You'd be like an adult version of Beast Boy or something.
My answer has an X-Men theme to it. Oh, he said Dolly Parton. I saw it. I'm so happy. That made my night because I can hear it. I can hear it in my head. I hear it. I hear the voices.
Let's go. Awesome. Awesome.
Spider-Woman's a great guest too. That's not it, but
we got Collector. Superman, says Steve White.
Superman, that's a good guess. That's not it, but
who are you guessing, Javi? Who did you guess?
I don't know who did. That's a tough one.
I don't know either, man. I just pulled out Cyclops because
it's X-Men themed.
The closest answer I've seen so far, and it's not right, but the closest that I've seen is Comics for Thomas's answer.
Ooh, Black Widow.
So it's a Marvel character.
Scarlet Witch.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
Okay.
I think it would have been Scarlet Witch.
Wow. Nice. Why?
But imagine trying to buy that, because while she doesn't have her own titles, she's in so many guest appearances and so many key books and stuff too.
That X-Men 4 is crazy. Right now. I think Kenny got one at the beginning of this year, man, and he got it at the right time because that book is gone ballistic. It's gone crazy.
Yeah. And if I had to do a DC character, I love Jean Grey and Phoenix a lot.
Yeah.
But if I had to do a DC character, I think it might be Nightwing.
Great choice. I love Nightwing. I love me some Nightwing.
What do you see coming for your Okay, remember when we started, we were backstage and it's like, okay, we usually
we see your hand.
Yeah. we kind of started, because it was a big reveal for us as well. We didn't see him backstage, guys. I just want to let you know that.
They did. You didn't even see the head until until you started the show.
Yeah, we saw a little hand. We saw a little hand. And we were talking, it's there's no set questions. We just do it on the fly. You're gonna see it's over before you know it.
Yep.
How do you feel, man?
I feel fantastic. I have to tell you, one thing that has floated in the back of my head was when I do this show, and I mean this show, Inquiring Minds, I thought, what if 45 minutes into it, he says to me, okay, well, it was nice visiting with you. And I thought, because I know that it goes an hour and a half when they're good. when they're good, I know it go, although sometimes in some defense, some people have time restrictions.
Yeah.
You have to wrap up. So
yeah, the last couple of weeks we've had time restraints, but they usually go at least an hour and a half.
But I thought to myself, if he wraps up with me before an hour, regardless of how well I thought it went, that will be such a disappointment. And I don't know what I'm going to do, but it did. When I saw we hit that hour mark and I'm like,
milestone. Yes.
So you were looking at the hour mark? Is really?
Absolutely. And now that I see it's an hour and a half, I'm like, got this. I'm like, regardless, if it stops 3 seconds from now, I'm golden. 15 minutes.
Yours did not go 15 minutes, Steve. Yours is not. The show's evolved a little bit since you've been on. You were like one of the first. And yours went at least an hour. Yours went an hour. But
my great man.
But what did the great man say? Oh, stop! Man. Yours did not go 20 minutes. Shut up, man. Thank you, Go. Yeah, we had a blast, man. We always have a blast.
Yeah.
But isn't it true, man? Me and Javi always say it. The first half hour, we're still feeling each other out.
Mm-hmm.
And then before you know it, look, it's an hour and a half. And it just flies, man. And that's what me and Javi try to do. It's just three guys talking, nobody's watching.
Yeah. And it certainly feels that way. I know that I just kind of rambled at some points and
you've been great.
That's me though. That's you.
No, that's what we love. That's what
I've got people I connect with here. I know I've got my music people and my comic people in the same package here. So it's like I can just go. So it's been a wonderful experience for me.
It's been great getting to know you. Every show, me and Javi say this. We say a few things, but it's like, man, I didn't expect it to go that way, and I never knew this, and we always learn so much here. I'm always in awe because everybody's different experiences, and look at all the experiences. We're all blessed, man. We're all blessed, and you are definitely blessed
for sure.
I asked you earlier about your parents. I know your parents are damn proud of you, man.
Hope so. I think they are.
I can't imagine them knowing or imagining, man. Look at Ryan. Look at his life, man. Look at the people he's met. You don't expect that from your kids,
Yeah. So I actually have a question that I've always wondered for both of you to answer.
Oh no!
No. I like this. I
don't like questions.
You got to remember, I'm used to being the one who's asking the questions.
Right.
So, what was the very first thing that you remember wanting to be when you grew up? Like when you were a child, what was the very first thing you said, I want to be?
Teacher.
Any specific kind or?
I've just always gravitated towards teaching other people what to do. I kind of went different routes. I was like, oh, maybe I'll be a math teacher. Oh, maybe I'll be a history teacher. And lo and behold, now I'm a music teacher. So it all went full circle. Yeah, I'm a instructor now, doing music lessons, guitar lessons, piano lessons. So it's been great, man.
Dude, and that's just recently started for you, man. I'm so happy.
That's awesome.
I didn't know.
Great.
Yeah, but that was back in sixth grade. In sixth grade, I've always had a real good connection with not necessarily school in general, but with who the teachers were. Because if you have a good teacher, then it's easier to be passionate about that. And when you see that the teacher has passion and then likes caring about their students, it's all kind of reciprocal, right? Yeah, so I've always had a big inspiration from good teachers, right? And obviously you have bad teachers too, and you take that experience and you're like, okay, that's not really something that I want to be, or something that kind of really gravitates towards me. So taking all those experiences.
That's cool.
Yeah.
you remember who's the greatest teacher you've ever had, or your favorite?
I've had too many. I can't even name
one.
No, I've Mr. Lee, my 5th grade teacher. A lot of different teachers have been just really good. But I guess my most influential teacher, as far as like where I am in my life right now, has to be my first guitar teacher in college. When I went to Florida Atlantic, he was somebody who just was a great inspiration on me. Yeah.
Dude, that's awesome. You remember yours, Lasso?
I do, but what is yours?
Mine is my teacher.
No. What is the first thing you remember wanting to be?
It didn't work out.
It doesn't matter if it worked out. It's just, what was it?
I wanted to be a NFL running back. I wanted to be like Walter Payton. I used to have a real. I remember my greatest gift that I've ever received, like on Christmas, was an NFL football, a Wilson NFL football. It was signed by Steve Grogan, who used to be a New England Patriots quarterback. Not that I was a Steve Grogan fan, but my aunt got that for me. Santa dropped it off at her house, and it was a Steve Grogan football, and it was real leather. And I was just in awe of that football, and I would just get that football, and I would run around my house like I was Walter Payton. And I always wanted to be an NFL running back, and Cubans aren't the biggest,
Yeah.
So it kind of didn't work out, but man, I still love football, but that was my dream. That was my first. I want to be an NFL. I remember, man, if I can't be a player, I'll be the guy, I'll be the guy wrapping them up. I'll be the guy doing this. That didn't work out. But,
be the water boy.
I'll be the water boy. I'll be Bobby Boucher, but that didn't work out either. But that was me. What was yours, Lasso?
Well, Patrick Wall is going to like this. The first thing I ever remember wanting to be was a school bus driver.
Really?
Yes. And I want to drive the school bus. And you know what makes you not want to be a school bus driver? Riding the school bus for the first time in your life. And you're like, forget that. I don't want to do that. And I didn't ride the school bus and until I first did. And then I'm like, yeah, I don't want to do that anymore. So then I kind of thought, by 3rd grade, I remember we had to stand up and say, well, when I grow up, I want to be, and then the teacher would, like someone stand up and say, I want to be a doctor. And the teacher would say, doctors are important because they heal people when they're sick and blah, blah, blah. Well, I said I wanted to be a comic book artist, and she didn't really know what to follow that up with. I think she said something like, well, artist is a good choice because people appreciate having pretty things on their walls or something. And I'm like, what? But it still was a better answer. There was a girl named Elizabeth in my class, and she proudly stood up and said, I'm Elizabeth, and when I grow up, I want to be a stripper.
What?
In 3rd grade, she said she wanted to be a stripper. And you know what that got, Elizabeth? A trip to the guidance counselor.
Yeah.
Dude,
oh my God.
Change her name. Would she have changed her name? Cinnamon?
That's something only her and her guidance counselor knows.
Precious. Cinnamon.
Yeah.
You're wanted on stage 1.
Cinnamon was a reoccurring character on The Facts of Life. I love old TV shows. And Stacey Q played her. If you remember Stacey Q, 2 of Hearts. 2 of Hearts. 2 hearts that beat. Yeah.
1, 2 of. How do you remember that?
Dude, this is radio. I know all this worthless knowledge. But you give me a map and tell me to find some place on the map, and I have no idea where it's at. But I know that Stacey Q was on The Facts of Life twice playing a character named Cinnamon. And Cinnamon's album was called Color Me Cinnamon.
I don't remember that, man. And I used to watch Facts of Life like crazy. I had the biggest crush on Tootie.
Yeah, Tootie.
I didn't like, what is it? Was it Kimberly? What was the
Lisa Welcher, who played Blair.
Blair was hot. Blair. I like Joe better. I thought Joe was cool. Joe was cool. And on Happy Days, I used to live. What was it? Pinky Pescadero.
Jenny Piccolo.
Jenny Piccolo. I always wanted to be Scott Baio. I thought Scott Baio was cool. I always wanted to be him. I didn't want to,
Yeah.
But man, yeah. Oh my God, we could get into all that stuff.
Yeah.
This show's gonna go 3 hours. This show's gonna go.
I know. But yeah, there's a lot. My love of old TV shows is there. My autograph collecting is a topic in itself. Star Wars was the very first movie I ever remember seeing in a theater. That's something we can talk about. And what Santa Claus brought me Star Wars oriented some other time. That's another conversation. So
that was the first movie you saw?
The first one I remember seeing. I mean, maybe I went to one before then, but A New Hope is the first movie I remember seeing in a movie theater, and I only remember bits and pieces of it.
That might have been mine.
But what a cool first movie to remember.
Yes, but the other one I kind of remember is Pete's Dragon.
Okay, I don't know that.
That one's not so cool.
Okay.
But it was good. But yeah, it was either Pete's Dragon or Star Wars, The New Hope. And yeah, can you imagine? Yeah, that was a good story.
The first movie that I saw in theaters without my parents, just going by myself, was the first Pirates of the Caribbean.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Cool.
I saw that like in my 30s.
I know, right? Hey, I've seen Facts of Life, all right? Don't get me wrong. Brady Bunch,
yeah.
Dude, I'm sorry. I haven't been keeping up with this.
Well, when you say Brady Bunch, the first Brady Bunch cast member that I met was Christopher Knight.
Are you kidding me? Come on, man.
No. Listen to this, though. Okay, so you tell people that you met Christopher Knight. Okay, that's cool. But you have to watch the way that you say that, because they give you funny looks if you say, I met the Brady Bunch's Peter. There's a difference between meeting the Brady Bunch's Peter
wording,
and
the phrasing.
But you know what? He was probably the coolest one of all of them. Him and Marsha, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
They were probably the two coolest ones, right?
Yeah, I think so. The most elusive Brady is actually the one I want to meet, and it's not because they're the most elusive, but Eve Plum, she just kind of stays away from that stuff. Eve Plum, she was Jan.
Okay.
But Eve Plum was in Wonder Woman, the TV show. So that's why I want to meet Eve Plum, you know?
Bro, you're obsessed, dude.
I like what I like.
Dude, that's awesome. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I just love it because it all comes like a full circle.
Comes full circle. I try to tie everything back around eventually.
It all comes back to Wonder Woman.
You get on the Lasso train, and we make many stops, but we eventually get back to where we were supposed to go.
Dude, I totally forgot about the Sissy Spacek. You still freaking blew my mind with that because I knew that. I just didn't remember that.
Yeah, and you probably didn't know that Sissy Spacek had a country music hit song on the country music charts after Coal Miner's Daughter, an original song.
No.
And it was a genuine hit.
That I don't remember. That I never knew.
Yeah, 1982, she was on Atlantic, and the song was called Lonely But Only for You.
I have to look that up.
Yeah, it's pretty decent. And Sissy Spacek's birthday is December 25th.
Come on. How do you know this?
It is. Google. Go to Wikipedia or Google it.
I have to. I believe you. How do you know that? How do you know that?
Because you just know this stuff. It's just stuff you know. How do you not know that? How does anyone not know Sissy Spacek's birthday off the top of their head?
I thought, I always say that about me. I am, there's a lot of useless information, but you're freaking blowing me away right now.
Yeah, but the brain needs a defrag. My brain needs a defrag. There's too much stuff in there that I don't need.
Sissy Spacek's birthday. Are you serious?
December 25th. And Steve Warner, a country music singer, he was born. Jimmy Buffett's birthday is December 25th. Barbara Mandrell, my favorite singer, her birthday is December 25th.
Oh, wow. That's Christmas birthdays.
Yeah.
That's great. Wait, what is it?
Cousin Oliver. That would be.
I like Cousin Oliver. I did like Cousin Oliver. I do know country artists, bro. dude. Who is it? Oh my god. Oh my god. Now. Oh.
Yeah, you got put on the spot, so now you can't.
I like The Devil Came Down to Georgia. I was looking for a Soul Steve. I love that song. What is it?
Charlie Daniels Band. He just passed. He passed away this year too.
Yeah, he just passed as well. So man, what a year 2020's been, huh?
Yeah.
I think everybody's gonna look back on this and it's like, oh my goodness, you remember 2020?
Yeah. I'll tell you, my collecting in 2020 has been amazing.
Mine too,
and
man.
I've done things that I never thought I would accomplish or do or whatever. So
yeah. Wait, what did you just say? You what?
I said I've accomplished things in 2020 with my collecting that I never thought I would be able to.
Like what?
Oh, like specific books. Like the book that I thought was going to be my 2021 #1 goal, I even got in 2020.
Nice.
It was a Silver Age Justice League. And I thought, that would be a good 2021. I got it in 2020. Because of this network, having Sensation Comics. I never thought that would. I wanted it to happen. I didn't think it really would happen. So
it's been a good year for me as well.
I missed the conventions a lot. C2E2 I really loved, and while they did have a C2E2 this year, I did not go. But watching Bear Island's The Last Con really made me feel like I was there, and seeing that camaraderie. That's what I want to do when I go to a con. I want to spend time with all you guys that are there. Yeah, I want to hunt with you. I want to chat with you. I want my picture taken with you. That's what I want to do.
That's the best part. That's the best part. It's like we all know each other, but when we don't, And then when you see people in person, it's like, oh my god! I was gonna say this line when I first saw you. I was gonna, I imagined you a little taller, With the show, and I totally forgot, but that's what it is. Seeing other YouTubers in person, man, I've experienced, Javi's experience. It's a high. It's a high. You get giddy. You're giddy.
Yeah, I can see that easily. So I haven't met anyone off of YouTube yet. Being in Wisconsin, I know Mr. G's in Wisconsin, but he's kind of
it's like in the
there's
middle
people
of
there's people in other states that are actually closer to me than probably Mr. G is, even though we're in the same state. As weird as that sounds. So I think the closest person to me is Chad RCG.
Nice.
I think. Jeff Schultz is that's something that would be doable if he and I he's more in Chicago, but if he and I we could meet up somewhere and do something, and I want to do that, in the future.
Jeff's awesome, man. He's an awesome supporter too.
Much love from Chicago.
Yeah.
I gotta say, when that ever happens, and you're gonna love it.
I can't wait.
It's like a brotherhood, and you don't even know it. And then all of a sudden it's like, hey, what's up?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Me and Javi, remember when we met Cookie?
Oh yeah.
And me and Javi were at the store by our house was having a sale, and we met Cookie, and it was like, what's up, bro?
So you didn't know he was going to be there. You just looked up and he was there.
I think that we knew he was going to be there, right?
Yeah. We knew he was going to be there. It was more of like we already knew, like we had already known each other for 10 years or something, It was just like, oh, hey. And then Hialeah gives him a hug.
Yeah, give him a hug. What's up, man? Come on, let's go. Hey, look at this. Hey, what's up? What did you get? It's the best. It's the best. It's just, it's like I said, you get giddy. It's a joy, and it's just because we're on here and we share it, and it's like, it's just, oh my god, I can't wait until you experience that.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that a lot. So,
hey, Ryan, we've gone an hour and 48 minutes.
I did it. I have. I tell you, when
milestone,
when the camera gets turned off. And the lights are down. It's going to be yes.
You're gonna put on some Dolly Parton.
I can take a long box on each arm upstairs.
Hey, man, real quick. I'm not gonna highlight 90s because he's always a smart ass. But look at Stay Puft, man. When we met Stay Puft, that was amazing.
Yeah.
It was, and it's even when I first met you, Javi, and we drove up with 90. We didn't even know each other, and I was thinking we were gonna get to the convention, and you guys were just gonna go your merry way because you guys knew each other, and I would just be up, I would just go through my.
Nah.
And we hung out the whole
time, man.
And on the way up there, we were driving up, and I'm like, dude, I'm just gonna get there, and I guess I'll see these guys later. I hope they don't forget me here,
Mm-hmm.
And it was amazing. It was amazing. It was amazing.
Oh yeah, if we go to C2E2, we'll definitely see you there. Kid Collector Comics.
Could you imagine though someone like Varangian coming over to the United States and then I think we would like converge on him. Like that's how I anticipate that working.
Mob him down, yeah.
Yeah.
You imagine that from overseas and coming here? Oh my God. I think his head will blow up.
Yeah. I think so too.
Hey, we're trying to keep this going, man. Because you know what? The chat has not died down since the start of the show. It's been pretty consistent.
Okay, I see a question that Jeff asked that someone had asked earlier too, and I'm going to answer that.
Oh, good.
If that's okay.
Of course.
I'm sitting here going, yeah, it's my show now. What I decided is I needed something that told people that I loved Wonder Woman. And I didn't want to be bullets and bracelets. That sounds violent. And then I thought, you know what? One thing that we need in this world is truth. And one thing that I respect from anyone is truth. It might not be the answer that I want, but if you're telling it to me honestly, I'll respect it, even if it's not the answer I want.
Right.
Be honest. Be honest with yourself. Be honest with everyone else. And I thought Lasso of Truth really, or Magic Lasso really represents that. And that's what I want to be. I want to be truthful. I want to be honest. I want people to be truthful and honest with me. I want them to know off the bat that I love Wonder Woman. So that's why I picked that. But I'll tell you what I need. I need some type of a catchphrase. Everyone has a catchphrase, and I don't have one. I mean, there is, how is the Legion of Comic Collectors doing today? There is, what's going on, nerds and nerdettes?
Yeah.
I don't have that, and I need that. I need something, and I don't have that.
That's hard, though.
That is very hard.
And it's hard, and the thing is, you got to be consistent with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can be consistent with it. I mean, I've learned from my job how you build the branding and the consistency on that. So I've got that part. I haven't found anything that just sticks.
Well, you know what? We have 17 viewers. If you guys come up with, you can find Magic Lasso on Instagram. Hit him up if you got a catchphrase for him.
Please, absolutely.
That's your homework for this week.
Yes. I probably could, if I like and use it, I'll find some Wonder Woman books and send them your way, or find something that you like and send it your way. So I'm more than happy to do that. There
you go, guys. You got your homework for the week.
Yeah.
Catchphrase for Magic Lasso. I like it.
Yeah.
I'm glad you didn't go with Invisible Jet.
Yeah.
Or something like that. Yeah. It's the time of truth, says 90M Comics. Well, that's
we have a new Wonder Woman movie coming out this month. I have not purposely watched any of the trailers. I've avoided as many spoilers as I could, and it's tough. I walked into the room the other day and there was a commercial for it on TV, and I saw some footage that I'm like, and sure, it's just her on top of a semi, running on top of the semi, but I'm like, oh, I didn't know anything about that. And I'm reaching for the remote. So I'm excited for this movie to come out.
It's coming out on HBO Max, right?
And select cinemas that will be open.
Yeah.
So,
on Christmas, right?
Christmas, yeah.
Yeah.
You guys are horrible, dude. I love it.
Hey, Disco's in here. Disco.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, Disco.
You're just in time for the first appearance.
Yeah. Look at Gray Man. I think he got it. How about tie me up and I'll be helpless? Oh my.
You know what? I could see it now to keep on branding. I'll end my videos and I'll be like, I'm Magic Lasso, bondage, baby.
Perfect. You know what? I kind of like that.
Bondage, baby.
Oh, dude, that's freaking cool. All right, man. We're now at almost 2 hours.
Okay.
Hour 54. I think we're good.
I think we're good. I feel good about things. But I hope I left something. Yeah, I hope I still left some meat on the bone. So if I'm ever on or if I'm on somewhere else, there's something to talk about.
Yeah, Comic Fu was wondering now. I don't know if I can pull up the comic or the comment.
Where am I at?
But he was asking. It was earlier, or probably a couple minutes ago. He was asking if you were going to be on the Mystery Men.
I would love to be on the Mystery Men.
Wow. If you accept his invite, so there you go, Comic Fu.
I would like to be on the Mystery Men. I'd like to be on the Retro Review. I'm the situation where I'm at right now, and there will be another move for me. As much as I don't want, not excited about a move in 2021, but there will be one coming. Where I'm at right now isn't as I said, the best scenario to record and do live, but when I can collaborate with someone, I want to, and that's one thing I'm really looking forward to in the new year.
Awesome, man. Hey, well, you're more than welcome to hop in on Silver Age Sunday.
Oh yeah, I'd love to do that too. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And any other kind of live stream that we have, you're more than welcome to be a part of that for sure, man.
Yeah. Keep up the good work in Hialeah, especially keep doing those videos of your 12-year-old self and the books, because I love those.
Really?
I love watching those. I think the concept is amazing. I'm super jealous that I didn't think of that. Okay. Keep doing those specifically because they are so good.
I will. I've actually haven't done one in like a month.
I know you haven't. I have notifications turned on. So
okay. All right. I'll make it a point because I wasn't sure if I was gonna do that. I know Comic Mag Musings did an amazing job on his last video on it, and I don't know if you've seen that. That's amazing.
Yeah, Comic Mag Musings did
a parody. Yeah,
he did
so good.
Books that the 12-year-old Hialeah would never thought that I would own.
That's great. I love that.
It was so good. It was so good. I was crying laughing.
And
thank you. I appreciate it.
But please keep doing that. So
Stay Puft also on Stay Puft Saturday.
I'd love to do that. I'd love to collaborate with Stay Puft.
Yeah.
So
that show goes for like 6 or 7 hours. So you just don't even worry about
fit right in.
And you just jump in like at 5.
I should probably live stream too when I get my tattoo on my back of Hialeah's face. So
everybody needs one. Everybody needs one. Man, this has been a blast.
It has been. The pleasure has been mine. Thank you to everyone in the chat. If I didn't see your comment, it's probably because I didn't know what I was doing at that point and how to find the comments. But I was not purposely ignoring you. That would hurt my feelings if someone thought that I was ignoring them on purpose. So
no, I don't believe anybody would think that. I try to highlight as much as I could.
Cool. I'm always up. I am always up for making friends and talking and collaborating. On Instagram, I'm the Magic Lasso. And then on YouTube, I'm Magic Lasso. If you're not subscribed yet, please consider hitting a subscription. And as I say in my videos, thanks everyone to making it to the end.
The link is in my description. So
thank you
for Javi, and you really have to promote your next Wednesday show that you're going to be on with a very special show with
Boy Who Had Seven. Yeah, I'm going to make an appearance there. Silver-haired Bronze Age Babe and I are doing a live dive together about Wonder Woman. So that is coming. Don't miss that. And I'm thankful and appreciative of this opportunity to get to stamp. I'm appreciative of this opportunity, though, and all the nice comments and stuff too. So thank you.
I'm telling you, the chat's been popping. It hasn't really dropped. It's been consistent the whole time. People were really excited to meet you and get to know you besides just comics.
Well, likewise to them too. I've gotten to know a lot about people from watching this show specifically. So kudos to you guys.
Man, thank you so much. This was great. Like like I've said before, I just never know where this is gonna go, and it's always surprising, and I always learn something from this film.
It started here.
It started there,
and it ended up here.
Javi, you got any last words?
No, man. Thank you guys all. Thank you all of you in the chat for being here, man. I really appreciate it. This was an awesome episode, Ryan. I know I sent you that AOK back in the day, and we talked every now and then, but actually getting to meet you, it has been a blast. So thank you for accepting our invite. I know we've been wanting to do this for a while now, but we finally made it happen.
Yep.
And I couldn't be any more happier, man. This is awesome.
Thank you. Me too.
Yeah, man. This was amazing, man. Thank you so much for coming on. It was great. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, everyone in the chat.
Yep. Thank you.
And we just made it to 2 hours. 3 long boxes.
3. One here, one here, one here.
Right here.
I gotta put on the music again so we can go out. And we are out, guys. Thank you so much to everybody on the replay. Stay blessed. So long from the Sunshine State. Take care.